Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to dive into something that affects pretty much all of us, the fraudsters that might be hiding on our phones right now. We're going to look at a super interesting AI system that's basically a digital watchdog designed to sniff out those malicious apps before they even get a chance to trick you. Let's jump right in.
But first, I've got a question for you. Seriously, grab your phone. As you scroll through all those little icons, ask yourself, how many of these apps do I actually 100% trust with my data? It's kind of tough to answer, right? And that question is right at the heart of what we're talking about today.
Because let's be real, our app stores are basically the new Wild West. They are these massive, sprawling digital marketplaces with millions of apps that promise to make our lives easier or more fun. But not all of them are the good guys.
And the sheer scale of it all, that's the real problem. I mean, with thousands of new apps popping up all the time, it's pretty much impossible for human review teams to check every single line of code, every single permission. And that gap, well, that's the opening the bad actors are looking for.
So what do these fraudulent apps even look like? Well, you've probably seen the red flags yourself. You see an app with a perfect 5-star rating, but then you read the reviews and they're just gibberish. Or an app that just rockets to the top of the charts overnight with almost no real buzz. Those are the classic signs. So how in the world do you police a marketplace this huge? Well, you don't just hire more people. You build a smarter watchdog, and that's where the tech comes in.
The whole idea is to stop playing catch-up. Instead of just removing bad apps after they've caused problems, what if you could have an intelligent gatekeeper? Something that could analyze an app and sound the alarm before it ever gets published for you and me to download. And that brings us to the specific project we're digging into today, FraudGuard. According to the source material, this is a machine learning system that's built to be that exact automated gatekeeper, specifically for the Google Play Store. All right, now for the really cool part. How does a machine actually learn to spot a fake? What's it seeing that maybe a person would just scroll right past? On the surface, the process is actually pretty straightforward. First, the system just sucks in all the public data about an app. Then it crunches all that data through its brainy models. And finally, it spits out a simple report that basically says, hey, this one looks suspicious. And when I say it crunches the data, I mean it gets really deep. The system is designed to look at 14 different critical features for every single app it examines. It's looking at everything from the obvious stuff to the tiny details in the language people use. And here's what's so powerful. The AI isn't just looking at the star rating. No, it's looking at the relationships between all these data points. Like, think about the ratio of reviews to installs. If an app has 1 million downloads but only 10 reviews, that's a weird pattern, a statistical red flag that the AI is trained to catch instantly. But it gets even cleverer, using a technique called sentiment analysis. This is basically how the AI reads the reviews. It doesn't just see a 5-star rating. It actually analyzes the words in the review to see if the emotional tone matches the score. This is how it spots those fake reviews, where the text is just nonsense or has nothing to do with the app. It's brilliant. Okay, so we have this system that's analyzing 14 features and is literally reading the reviews for emotional tone. The big question is, how good is it? How well does it actually work? And well, this is where the claims get pretty wild. So what does the data say? You put this AI watchdog to the test. What are its chances of correctly sniffing out a fraudulent app? Yeah, you heard that right. 100%. According to the project's own documentation, one of its main machine learning models, it's called a decision tree, achieved a perfect accuracy score during testing. That is a truly mind-boggling claim. Now, for some crucial context here, it's not just one model that hit a crazy high score. The system actually runs a few different powerful algorithms and compares them. And as you can see, other models like Random Forest and XGBoost also scored way up there, above 99.8%. So the main takeaway from their report is that the system's reliability is incredibly high across the board. Okay, so the tech is clearly impressive. But let's zoom out for a second and talk about the bigger picture here. Why does a tool like this matter so much? This quote from the source material really just nails it. This proactive approach protects the ecosystem integrity and user trust. It's all about trust. Every single time a fraudulent app gets through, it chips away at our confidence in the whole system. A tool like this is designed to be the shield that protects and rebuilds that trust. And you might think, okay, this is just for the big app stores, but the potential uses are way broader.
Of course, security teams are the obvious ones, but think about researchers setting online fraud, or even legit app developers who want to make sure their own apps don't get accidentally flagged. It's even a great tool for students learning about AI.
So the really big takeaway here isn't just about one project. It's about a massive shift in how we keep our online world safe. We're moving away from a slow, manual process where we're always one step behind, and we're moving towards a proactive, intelligent, and automated future, where AI is our first line of defense.
Which leaves us with one last big question to chew on. If this kind of technology becomes the new standard, what does that future actually look like? Imagine a world where every app, every product, is checked out by a smart, impartial AI gatekeeper before you ever see it. How would that change the way we trust and use the internet? Something to think about. Thanks for tuning in.